myself after your introduction.
Hello and welcome to One Hub Racing. We are here for the first qualifying night practice session here at Silverstone, and it's an opportunity for the drivers to set some pace to determine which tier they will be in for season 19 of OHR. Joining alongside me is Jamie Metcalf. How are you tonight, mate?
Yeah, very good, Tom. How are you? Yeah, I'm very excited for this. Obviously, you've got 5 sessions tonight, and these drivers, it's been a long time since it's been on track in One Hub, and they'll be hoping to set some really good times, getting the tier as high as they possibly can be.
Yeah, and just a rundown on who is scheduled to be involved. There is Vitinho, Haas, A Salty Bear, Storm, Demon, Enosia, Dexter, Fozzie Bear, Hawkins, Indecisive Mackie. You've got Jacko, Jess, who apparently has already done the qualifying night, could be involved later. Then we've got Wilkins, then Mason, Ols, Red Matt, W415, TJW77, Lepedius, Ryder Dell, and Rageman. So we expect the majority of them to be involved in this session. The session's not quite started yet, so just waiting for that to get underway. Now, in terms of how this works then in terms of qualifying nights, so since that One Hub Racing has 5 tiers, it's important to find out which driver, the drivers who have more pace than others, if that makes sense to you, in order to be placed in the correct tier. So there'll be 5 30-minute practice sessions at Silverstone, where drivers will attempt to set their quickest time. Then the OHR take their quickest time from the session to determine which tier they should be placed in. So how does it work? So all drivers who have applied and were accepted for the upcoming season will be invited into one of 5 lobbies. This is mandatory. This is a mandatory event, and all drivers who want to race in the OHR in the upcoming season must attend. The tiers that they are placed within are completely random. Once all drivers are in the lobby, the 30-minute practice session will start, and they can use those 30 minutes to do as many laps as they want and try and achieve the best time they can. However, only the driver's time set on the fastest tyre, so that will be the red marked soft tyre, that will be the one that will count and determine which tier they will be placed in for season 19. So, given that it's a 30-minute practice session, it's a good opportunity for drivers to sort of practice. There's some quick guys out there, and I'm just looking to see who was involved in the previous seasons. Now, given that there are 5 tiers, they are all names. Now, the bottom tier is Prospect, the top tier is Pinnacle, and I think the highest of those in the group that have been scheduled in for 6 o'clock British summertime, that is, are Virtinius Haas and A Salty Bear. We expect those two to perhaps be the fastest, but there are some newcomers as well, Jamie.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, we've got Hawkins. He's a newcomer, but he's already done his qualifying night sessions, so we won't be seeing him tonight. We've also got Red Matt, who's a rookie, and we've got Nepideus, who's also a rookie. We've got Ryder Dahl, who's a rookie, and Rageman. And we've also got Olds, who is a returning driver. He last raced with us in season 13 at F1 2019, so he's back after a long awaited departure. And with this qualifying night, there's no excuse to drivers not to be able to get a lap in, because in the practice session you do get 4 sets of soft tyres, so there'll be plenty of opportunities for drivers to get a good lap in.
Yeah, and obviously this is my first gig in the One Hub Racing, although there is still 1 or 2 drivers I have seen from other leagues beforehand, particularly Enosia and Ryderdale. They are 2 drivers I'm most definitely worth looking out for. You can see the countdown is ticking, which means we should get underway for the 30-minute practice session. Now, in terms of last season in One Hub Racing, we're just looking to see who was involved in the championship in season 18, in terms of who won the Prospects tier. Pardon me one moment. And whilst I say that, I just want to give a mention to our sponsors, Next Level Racing, who sponsored the league by providing an NLR direct drive stand to One Hub Racing's Driver of the Season, which is a new award. 3M Sim Racing, who sponsored the league by providing a pair of their sim racing gloves to the driver with the most combined total of pole positions and fastest laps. The partners are Vespertine, who are partnered to support the championship prizes, and ERT, who partner the Going Gets Tough award. So I found the stand-ins on here from last season in the prospects tier, which is most of what the drivers had been in who are involved in this particular practice session, had been in season 18. Kingham won the prospect tier last season with 168 points. 65 points clear over Jake W. Combs in second, with Liam in third place. So what are you going to look out for in this practice session then, Jamie?
Well, I've been looking at, I've done the practice earlier, and what I've noticed in this track is the first, obviously because this practice, the track is very green when you first go out, and I had quite a few spins in practice the first 10-15 minutes. I expect to see a lot of drivers go out on the medium set of tyres, really sort of try and bed themselves in, get themselves customised to the track, but I think we might see one or two spins early on because there is very little grip early on, especially in the first few corners. I spun about 4 or 5 times in practice in turn 1, I'm not ashamed to admit, but yeah, and lap times on there, do expect to see lap times improve markedly through the session. Also, don't expect to see lap times as quick as you get in time trial qualifying, because in the practice session there's not as much grip as, even at the end of the session there's still not enough grip as you tend to see at the end of qualifying.
So we just see Rageman in the Alpine heading out on circuit now. Is the first ones to make their way out. Just allow them to do their practice setups for this one. And now car setup is obviously very important in the current gen of Formula 1 games. Silverstone is a mixture of aerodynamics and speed, so it's going to be very interesting how each driver has planned out their setup for the session itself. We've got Rageman, who is on the medium tyre at the moment, so as he comes round Luffield and through Woodcote. Now Rageman, just looking to see where he ended up last season, if I can get my standings up again. I'm not sure if he was around in the prospects tier. Is he a rookie? Yeah, so he'll be one of the rookies to look out for. So he could be someone interesting to look out for this season in this practice session. Let's see what times he can come up with.
Yeah, you can, for sure. Yeah, there's quite a few rookies here. And it's interesting to see how they mix up. There's obviously the likes of Jack on this tier, who was very quick last season prospect tier. You got Enosia, who did race in points tier, but got demoted to the prospect here, and I think he had a really good end to last season. I believe he got a podium in the last race. So a lot of these drivers want to hide, but this game is very different. Obviously, we know this game, the curbs are very lethal, and the cars are a lot more understeery. So setups on F1 2020, will not work in this game. You need to have a lot more downforce in this game to have to get through the corners.
So just see Rageman go through the polysiren boards as he enters the first braking zone of Village, and I can imagine he'll just back out that lap. Storm is also on the flying lap in the Aston Martin. Now Storm, just looking to see his CV from last season. Storm was racing in the prospect tier of season 18, and by the end of the campaign he was in 12th, I believe, with 33 points. And that included a podium finish to go with it. So yeah, looking... Yeah. No, it's okay. Sorry, that was me just looking at the dashboard, actually. Just looking to see who's setting sector 1 times. We've just seen Red Matt posting a purple sector of a 27.1. That's the kind of times we'll be after at the moment. So Red Matt is someone to keep an eye on. But we'll keep an eye out on Storm to see how he gets on as he goes through the complex of Maggots and Beckett. So he got out of shape there.
Yeah, a lot of guys interested because you need a fuel down. A lot of guys have gone out with about 4 laps of fuel, so maybe they're trying to go for a slightly longer stint. And a lot of guys are running hot lap. If you guys can overtake, obviously in the race you can't really, on qualifying you can't really change your ABS that much, but in practice you get a lot more choices. Rageman goes quickest there, 129. On the 129.2 on the medium tyre. I do expect to see these guys at the end of the session going to 26s, 27s. I did practice in this 1 minute 27 as Mason there, going 27.8. A pretty good effort for him. And see, he had a decent outing last season. And it's good to see all these drivers returning. But Demon and Red Map 26.1. That that's a rapid time, and he'll be. And I'm certain he'll be racing one of the top tiers this season with that time already. But it's going to improve as the session evolves.
Yeah. So Red Matt is a new driver to this series as well, so he'll be one to look out for, I can imagine, with that brilliant 1 minute 26.1 for a first attempt as well. Is absolutely brilliant from him. Let's see how the others get on. We'll go to Wilkins next, as he's about to complete his lap in the Red Bull. He's on the medium compound. It's going to be a 1 minute 28.3. That puts him fourth on the timing pages. And looking at Red Matt's time, a 27.1 in sector 1, 35.4 in sector 2, and a 23.5 in sector 3. Now, a 23.5 in sector 3 is absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, it is. It's impressive. It's good to see. And obviously, Wilkins, he did race last season, I believe. He did show some good pace, but what issues with him is he's very inconsistent. Maybe this new game, maybe he might be fancying it more. He's got Salty Bears on the slow lap. He must have made mistakes somewhere. He's going to sign now in 1 minute 42, so he'll be going again. So we've got Jacko, I believe, on a lap on the soft tyres. So a lot of these guys, the mixture of tyres, some of these guys want to get that soft lap in pretty early. I believe Jacko. He's going to go through Cops here, takes a nice line through there. And what can the Fryman do? What's his first sector like? It is a 28.0, which is about a second off Red Matt. It just shows you how impressive speed Red Matt's time was.
We just saw a Red Bull go for a spin as well, which Wilkins, who was doing another flying lap in the Red Bull, but he's gone round on the exit of Cops Connor. Both McLarens have gone off at Farm Connor. What's going on there, Jamie?
Yeah, I think it's this lack of grip. I mean, I've gone off there a few times in practice. Yeah, you just, if you go off there, you've got to be careful. And yeah, the two McLarens gone for super nice spins there. And Vitinho, who I expect will maybe challenge Red Matt once he gets a lap in. But yeah, they both lit it up. I've spun it there 3 or 4 times. It's very easy to do, especially at the start of the practice session. So not ideal for Vitinho here because he's burnt a set of softs already. But thankfully, he's still got 3 more to go. As he could do another lap, but the rear tyres they'll be toast. It takes you a good half a lap to cool them down.
We've just seen Radler go through sector 1 with a 26. It was a high 26 he had set, which is the fastest of anyone so far in this practice session. So we want to keep an eye on how he gets on. I've seen him compete in another league before, and he was absolutely brilliant with his pace. So as he goes through Cops now, he's just approaching one of the McLarens. That'll be Vitinho Haas, who had just gone for a spin on the exit of Farm. Now he should move out of the way and not impede him, although he hasn't done so yet. I wonder if he's just trying to up the pace so that he goes. Oh, he's gone for a spin there. It's Vitinho Haas. Ryderdale luckily avoids him going through Chapel. It's a 1 minute 1.8. Now, what's that in terms of sector 2 in isolation? 34.9 in sector 2. So that's by far the fastest second sector time. So he's definitely on course for 1 minute 25 at least. Here is Ryderdale in the Mercedes. Where is this going to put him by the time he crosses over the line? If he's lucky, it may be a high 1 minute 24. It's a 1:25.0, so that's a very astonishing time there from Ryderdale to go to P1.
Yeah, he's going to get the 24 for sure there, and I believe I'm going to say it already. I think Ryderdale will be in the pinnacle tier this season. I'm impressed that time, 20 minutes ago. He looked really good here, and he maybe was distracted slightly by the McLaren spinning, but obviously the collisions are off, so you can drive through a car. But I think he was maybe slightly put off by that McLaren, which might have, as his teammate Nepadius, is a 26.8 on that medium tyre. So that's not a bad time on the medium tyre. So yeah, I believe he was maybe distracted a bit by the McLaren, but yeah, I'm for certain he might be a little quicker. And you never know. At the end of the session, he may be in the low 24s, considering track evolution.
Yeah, just seen Demon go through Chapel. He's not on a faster lap than before, so we'll come away from him. And Jacko's just posted a 27.6 in sector 1. That's not the fastest we've seen. That's around about 8/10 slower than Ryderdale's fastest time, but he's definitely going faster than he had done on the previous lap. So potentially a 1 minute 27 by the end of this one. We'll see what his second sector time is like. He'll want to be around about 1 minute 1 or 2-ish. He's slid a little bit through Beckett's. He's a couple of tenths up overall on the lap. It's a 36.4 he had set, which is not as quick as what he set in the second sector alone on his previous fast lap. But he's coming through, he's going into the pits. So Jacko comes out of that lap, and Nipodius is on an invalidated lap. We'll go to a Salty Bear. Now, a Salty Bear, looking at his CV, he was racing in the Precision tier, which is a tier higher than the Prospect tier. So I expect him to be putting in some relatively hot laps. He could go in front of Red Matt with this effort. Depends what time he can find so far. Now in sector 1 he posted a 28.3. In sector 2 he has posted a 36.5 alone. Now putting that together, comparing that to the times, he's only faster than Wilkins in the Red Bull. So I think on this effort here for a Salty Bear, I think this is going to put him in the midfield roundabout where Wilkins is as he comes through club corner, and this is going to put him onto a 1 minute 20. Oh, he's invalidated his lap time as he goes over the line, so that not only invalidates that lap but the next one as well.
Yeah, that's such a pain for him. He had 29, so it wasn't a particularly quick lap.
Oh, Wilkins gone for a spin though. Sorry to interrupt you there, Jamie. Wilkins has just gone for a spin through farm, and he's in the gravel trap and he gets out of it. Resume.
Yeah. So say Salty Bear is the season 16 prospect here champions. He just had some accolades in one of the races. He's the only driver champion I believe in this session. But yeah, Josh Wilkins has spun it where I think it was Casper. You can see you can actually see in the loop. You can actually see the racing line is covered in sand. So a lot of guys have been through the gravel there. Josh Wilkins had to spin it again. Its tyres, I reckon, it's really tired to be over 120 degrees, and that'll make going to any sort of corner a difficulty, and you have to pit and go again. So TJ does a 27. TJ's on a lap, I believe. He's starting a lap. He's going to try and improve his 27.5. So see how the AlphaTauri man does. See look at the line there. It's all covered in sand.
Yeah, and Napidia's going second fastest on a 1:26.0. That's much better than what he set. He set a 27.0 in sector 1, 35.3 in sector 2, and a 23.7 in sector 3. And considering the fuel load, he was on a lighter fuel load as well. So that's a very good lap on the mediums, I have to say, from Napidia. So it'll be interesting to see how he does on the softs later on. TJW is coming through Woodcoats and onto the old pit straight. And look to see who else is on a flying lap just before him. Assaultiver's just going into the pits. Vitinho is going for his first effort in the McLaren. Now Vitinho in sector 1 posted a 27.6. In sector 2 he's posted a 36.2. Now comparing that time, it's faster than Rageman's. It's definitely faster than Josh Wilkins' lap time. So he's on course for a fairly decent time here, is Vitinho. Now
how do you tackle club? He took quite nicely there. It's so difficult to lose traction here, but he's doing nice line through, cross line. What can he do? Woody's getting into the 27.7, so decent lap for him. He pips his teammate Mason in 5th, but I believe Vitinho is capable of a bit more than that. I believe he will improve further, as he didn't have a particularly good. He lost a bit of time in the final sector, I believe. So I believe the cleaner final sector, Vitinho can maybe get in them 26s.
Yeah, we've just seen Mason Jr. in the McLaren as he comes through club corner now. It will be a 1 minute 27.1. That puts him 4th with that time, over 6/10 faster than what he had set beforehand. Just looking at his times in sectors 1, 2 and 3, it was a 27.4, which is round about 6/10 slower than Ryderdal's fastest lap time. So is sector 1 the sector which you need to nail, considering the slower corners on this track?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, obviously Silverstone's not got many break zones, but sector 1's where the majority of them are, and sector 3, Silverstone is a very high speed corner track. And obviously, with a lack of break zone, I think we might see close timers, but Rydell is really is showing that to be a bit of a myth, as we've got another spin over. That is TJ spun it coming out of Cops, so quite a few spins already, as my theory is proven correct, as thankfully the Alfa Romeo of Alls, I believe, is able to drive through that there. Thankfully, because I set in our cruisers are off for this qualifying session, but also the car is off already anyway, so we get a lap in. As you see, who's on a flying lap? I believe Redmat might be on a flying lap coming through Cops.
Well, Jacko most certainly is, because he was a lot quicker than he set before in sector 1. What was he like in sector 2? He's 1.2 seconds up over the course of the lap alone. Now, just looking at his second sector time, it's a 35.7, which is 8/10 slower in that sector alone in comparison to Ryderdale's. But he could well be on course for 1 minute 26 here if he keeps this pace up as he goes through Vale. He carried a bit too much speed into there. And now he's through club corner and he crosses over the line. It's a 1:27.0. That puts him 4th fastest.
Yeah, but I think with a better line through club, he would have definitely gotten the 26s. He lost it 1 or 2 attempts over and a little bit deep, and he meant he had to gather it up, and he lost momentum through the club corner. So yeah, I think Jacko is capable of improving by a couple of attempts on that lap. Inuja was on the lap, but he's invalidated. So the track limits around Silverstone, they are quite difficult, especially in that first few corners. As Luke Redback there is going to cross the line, he gets third place. These laps for him at 26-1. As Nepadias is coming out on the soft tyres. I wonder if Nepadias may be able to challenge Rydell, because I believe the delta between the soft and the medium is around 1 second. So Nepadias, you may see him getting them 25s once he gets around to start his lap.
Remember, it's the soft compound which will determine which tier each of the drivers in. So it's not going to be if they've done their faster time on the mediums, that will not count. It'll be the softest compounds of the three, of which the driver's lap time will count towards which tier they will be in for season 19 of One Hub Racing. We've just seen Ols crossing over the line for a faster time than before. It's a 1 minute 28.2, which is not too bad of an effort in comparison to what he had set before. He goes 11th fastest with that. You see Demon crossing over the line. Don't think he improved on his effort. Red Matt's had his lap invalidated. Likewise, Rydell. So Nepadias, I'd be really interested to see what time he can find on the next lap he's going to do.
Yeah, he's our next kind of flying lap, I believe, as also on the lap, and so see how he does. He's going to prepare us when we get him on board with Nepadias here. This is quite a high-speed circuit, and we'll go through Vale and Club, and he's going to start a flying lap.
We've just seen Demon go through sector 1. His time was a 27.8 by that point. He had set a 27.8 on his previous best lap. He's marginally bettered that by a couple of hundredths. So he's just going through Copse Corner now. It wasn't the best entry there. You want to be going flat out through Copse Corner. If you get your left tyres on the outside curb into it, you can most definitely go into it flat out through Copse, and he's just invalidated that time, so you may as well back out a bit and go again. We'll go to Nepadias. He's just gone through sector 1, 26.8 by sector 1. That's the fastest first sector time we have had so far, by 1,000th of a second over Rydell. This is a very, very strong effort so far from Nepadias, and he's still got 2 more sectors to get through. And there's an Alpine ahead of him who should get out of the way. That'll be Rageman, who's on an outlap, so he should be aware that Nepadias is coming up behind him. And as he goes through Maggots, then Beckett, and then the left kink of Chapel. What's his second sector time like? It's a 35.2. It's not the quickest we've seen. He's 0.2 down in that sector alone on Rydell. So we are expecting a low 1 minute 25 here from Nepadias. And Rageman is not doing him any favours by holding him up, actually. He knows that he's on an outlap as well as Rageman, so he should be moving out of the way to let Nepadias go. But he's starting the lap anyway. Nepadias crosses over the line, and it's a 1:25.7. So he has lost time in the final sector.
Yeah, he ran out of deployment very early there. I don't even notice his Rageman has spun it into coming out of Abbey. But yeah, Nepadias, he ran out of deployment halfway on the hanger straight, so he didn't have much battery left. But I do believe that Renault did distract him as he was struggling in the final few corners, so I think he's capable of a lot more than his lap he showed there. He only improved by 3 tenths in his medium lap, so I think Nepadias has got a lot more to show as Coutinho is on another flying lap. I believe he's improved his first set time by 2 tenths. He's looking at getting them 26s as the car gets a lot wary there. It's good to see from Ozzy Bear, I believe. So he's going to approach a Magnus Beckett complex. This is so difficult to nail this. You have to really have a really good line through there, and Coutinho has to go he's a little bit wide there. He's lost time there for sure in Magnus and Beckett's. This second sector might be down for him. No, he's still slightly quicker, so he may with a good final sector, he may be able to get into, I believe, the low 27s. This lap is going north here. He's going to approach Vale and the club corner, which is so we ran deep here last time, but nice apex at this time. Takes club quite well. Final corner now, he's run out of deployment as well, but he crossed the line now. What can he do? It's going to be a 27.3. You're up to 7th place there from the McLaren man. Yeah,
it was a 23.60 set in the last sector, which is quicker than he had done beforehand. So Vitinho goes up to 7th place on the medium compound. Now Inosia on a flying lap, 8 tenths, no, nearly 8 tenths up over the course of that lap alone. It's a 35.7 he has set, which is over 4 tenths faster than what he'd done on the mediums earlier on. So we are expecting a much faster lap here from Inosia anyway. But here he comes through Vale and then through Club, and I expect him to be around the low 1 minute 26s here. So Inossia over the line, it's a 1:26.6. So he's a full second faster than before, and he goes up to 4th.
Yeah, good lap there for the Fryman, and remember that time he won't be racing in Prospect this season. I believe that might be a points podium tier sort of lap time, judging what I've seen so far. Next guy to fire out was Mason Jr. has improved to 27.0, slightly improved his pace that time. He's jumped ahead of Rageman, I believe, into 6th place.
Yeah, I've just seen W415 coming over the line in the Williams. It's a 11th fastest for him, 1:27.4. That's his first time here set on the board. Storm needs to go for a much better time here so far. He got it all wrong at Beckett's last time that we saw. Gets it better this time. And through sector 2, he's 1.6 seconds up. So this is a much better time from Storm. If just looking at his comparison, he's over 1 second up on his previous best finish sector 2 alone. So this is a much better time from him. Will he get into the 1:28 though with this time?
If he gets a good fast lap, he may sneak into it, but it's
right
there.
He's
that's
over.
That's throttled it there big time. His Alls is now on a soft tyre, so keep an eye on how he does. And I believe Speed Red Matt has purple to sector 1, so I think as I say that, I put the curse on him as he spun it approaching Maggots and Beckett. So I'm sorry there, Red Matt. I think I put the curse you mentioned. You really rapid first sector lap time.
Yeah, he was 4 thousandths up on Nepidius through sector 1 alone, and then he just lost it all by himself on the exit of Copse Corner as Jacko goes for a spin on the exit of the loop. So I think the drivers are starting to push that a little bit harder now to the limit, some of which over the limit.
Got Alls about his first lap of soft tyres, but can you get in 27s? The 27.2, so moves to 8th place. So Alls is going to have one more run as he spins it, finishing his lap. So his lap time's done and he decides to go for a spin.
So just looking to see who else is on the fast lap. Demon's coming through sector 2, 4/10 up from his previous best. It was a 36.4, which was marginally quicker, but it was sector 1 that he gained the most time at from before. So Demon could be on course to go in front. Salty Bear on this effort here. Can he maybe get into the 1:27s? Perhaps sneak into that bracket? We'll find out right now as he crosses over the line. Is it going to be a 1:27 for him? It is 1:27.7. So he goes 14th with that effort. And Demon, who just looking to see on his previous CV from last season, he was in the prospect here, and that could well be where he ends up again this season for season 19.
Yeah, Demon, he doesn't like to do qualifying of prospect race. He starts from the back and try and pick his way through carnage. But yeah, it's a good lap for him there. And 27s, he could be on for a good season. He got to pick some good points finishes last season. He'll be looking to show a bit more.
So Nepidius has just gone through. Oh, he got out of shape there through the loop. He kept the car pointing the right way, but he'll have lost some speed all the way down the Wellington Straight as he comes through there now. Expect to be in the 26s for him. No, in fact, he's in 27.0. He's nearly 2 cents down from before. So the fact he got out of shape on the exit of the loop has contributed to why he's lost so much time through that area. Let's see if he can gather it all up, though, in the remainder of this lap as he comes through the pit straight. Now, if he can take the outside curve as he goes through Copse, which he does so. Very nice entry through there. And, oh no, he's just exceeded track limits. What a shame there from Nepidius. And I think he'll want to go again after that.
Yeah, I believe that lap time, he's going to have enough time. If he wants to come in and go again, he's going to have enough time, maybe save ERS and go again. I don't know what he's going to do. He's only got 1.2 litres of fuel, so he's going to have to pit, I think, and go out again another set of tyres. As the Phidias is like, as you see, cars coming out now with a lot less fuel than what they've done earlier, so cars are definitely pushing now. So we may see a few mistakes popping up as it, according to my data, as Red Matt, he's gone out on medium tyres.
Yeah, we've just seen Jacko go for a spin through Maggots as well, so that'll be him going for another run. As we see Patino, who's on a flying lap now in the McLaren. What time are we going to see in the McLaren? He's a 10th up from before, from his personal best in sector 1. It was a 27.3 for him. So let's see what he can find through the likes of Loffield, Copse, Maggots and Beckett. Now, he'll want to take a similar line to what Nepidius did earlier, except just keep the car within the confines of the racetrack.
Just amazing.
Yeah, he does it nicely. I think there was a slight lift off the throttle through there for Vitinho, but he's kept his car on the track, and that's the most important thing. Now the line through Beckett's is very nice through Beckett's actually, so Vitinho definitely on course for a better lap here. 4/10 up overall. It was a 35.9 through sector 2 alone, which is nearly 3/10 faster. So Vitinho, who's currently 10th, could very much go up into maybe the top 5. He can gather it all up through the last sector as he enters Vale. Very nice entry through there, not carrying too much speed. As then he goes through Club, takes it to the inside, and it's a 1:26.8. Very nice lap there from Vitinho.
That's more like it. That's more expected for me. He struggled early on, but I believe that might be a session done. He's got 4 minutes. I don't believe he'll come back in and go out again. So unless he hasn't got another field to another lap, so I believe that Vitinho has his session over and done with. We've got Mason Jr. who's improving again. And Mason Jr. I believe he's in his 60s, so he's quite an old man, but he's showing a lot of pace, I have to say, for his age.
Well, we've just seen Rageman crossing over the line to post his latest lap, and it's not faster than before, so he stays in 9th place. We'll go to Mason Jr. next then, as he enters through Beckett's. What's his time like in sector 2? It's a 35.7 alone, which is a few hundredths of a second faster than beforehand, so he's definitely on course to marginally go quicker, maybe go ahead of Jacko. If he's to do that, he would need to find 300ths of a second overall, which is doable, as he brakes just before the 50-metre board, entering Vale and then Club over the line. Is it going to be a 1:26? It is. It's a 1:26.9. He goes 6th.
Good lap for Mason. I'm impressed by he's definitely improved from last season. He's showing really good pace, and I think he'll be happy with that lap. Getting the 26s is a really good marker for him. Inertia was on the flying lap, but he's lost some time in the second sector, I believe. He may still improve because his first sector was pretty good. Can he get in the 26.5s? CORSA now, what can he do? It's going to be a 26.7, so slightly down on his previous lap time. Anybody else on the flying lap? I believe Nepideus on the out lap. Rydell is still in the pits. Nepideus is starting his flying lap. What about Oles starting lap, I believe, and so is W40, but his first sector was...
So just looking at W415, just see if he's on a fast lap. I don't think he is, to be quite honest with you. Just looking to see where he is on the leaderboard. We're struggling to get his times up on our dashboard at the moment, but he's well down from before anyway. So I think that's because he arrived late into the session anyway. That could well explain it. But he's 12th fastest either way. Mason is not on a fast lap at the moment. Inosia, through sector 1, is down as well. Nepidius, who lost time on his previous effort, 26.7 in sector 1 on this lap. So this is a very quick lap so far for Nepidius, with less than 2 minutes remaining, as he is clear of traffic for now, but it's just whether in the last sector he'll come across them before he goes over the line. As he goes through Beckett's, riding the curves on the entry and exit, goes through Chapel and through sector 2. It's a 34.9 alone through there. It's not the fastest, but that's only by 1,000, so he's very much in play to go to the top of the leaderboard by the end of this practice session. Right on board with him now, and he should be okay in regards to traffic. You can see a Ferrari going through. That will be Jacko, who's going to start his one last attempt. Nepidius over the line. What lap time is this going to be? It's a 25.3. That puts him second, over 2/10 away from Rydell, but that is a very strong effort there nevertheless.
Yeah, he's happy with the lap time, yeah. He loses a bit in the final sector. His first two sectors were very competitive with Rydell, and that's more like it for him, as Red Matt has come out on soft, so he's going to get over the line. He hasn't got that long in the session. Keep getting yellow flags. He's got 41 seconds to go, so see if he has someone flying that. Jacko is improving in the first sector. Jacko maybe looking to try and get into them 26s, joining like some Mason or Vitinho in that lap bracket.
Yeah. Just seen W4 coming through Vale now. He looks as though he's on a faster lap than before. He was definitely faster through sector 1 anyway, but he's overdone it through Club, and that could compromise his lap. But he goes faster than before though, 11 fastest on a 27.2.
Yeah, that's a good lap for him. It's quite close to Oles, and there's quite a gaggle in the mid to low 27s, as I believe Jacko is off, so he will not be improving on his lap.
I'm just looking to see what TJ is doing through sector 2. He was over a 10 down from before in sector 1. He's 6,000 up from his personal best by this stage of the lap. In fact, he's a 10 faster in sector 2 alone than what he'd done on his previous best. So he could well go in front of Ols. Go on, you can say something, Jamie.
Red Matt spun it in Maggots and Beckett's. Yeah, he's on a pretty good first sector, competitive at the front too, but he spun it around and Red Matt. Well, I think he won't be too happy with the way the session's gone, because I believe he set that up quite early, and I think he's quite frustrated that he hasn't been able to get them 25. So I think he's definitely capable of it.
Just seen TJ go 8th fastest on a 1 minute 27.0. See Fatinho going faster than before in sector 1. Rydell goes for a spin into the barrier that is that's on the exit of the loop and before Aintree. So that won't be him improving his time. Now look to see who is crossing over the line to complete their last laps. And don't think anyone else. There's Storm, who is on a good lap so far. 36.3 in sector 2 alone, which is over a 10th and a half faster than before, but he's invalidated that lap, so he may as well back out of it and forget it. Demon, his Aston Martin teammate for the session, coming through sector 2, nearly 3/10 up, so he could well be going on an improvement. What about Wilkins? I don't think he's on a faster lap at the moment, is he? No, his lap time's been invalidated, and Salterbear's lap time's been invalidated, so we'll go to Demon next as the Red Bull goes through into the pit lane, and Demon will be looking to complete his session on a high by going with his fastest time of the session. It's a 1:27.5. Not enough to move in upper position, but nevertheless it's a better lap time. It stays in 14th place. And we want to have a look at Jacko, who's coming over the line now, and it's a 1:26.3. It's a much bigger improvement for Jacko. Found a lot of time on that lap. Very good lap.
Yeah, good lap. That was in prospect here last season. He's shown a lot of improvement from last season. That's an impressive lap. What can Rageman do? He's down his lap time, so I believe we've got Rydell, who is down his lap time, so I believe that's that session over. So yeah, 2 Mercedes, 1-2, and say Rydell, he set that lap time early, but it was quite a quick lap, and he wasn't able to 24, so I'm quite surprised. I thought he was going to get the 24s there, but he did his lap early.
Yeah. So that rounds off the first practice session of qualifying night for One Hub Racing here at Silverstone. Rydell top of the table by a quarter of a second over Napidius in second place. Then it's Red Matt third, with Jacko fourth, and then Nossio 1.6 seconds off the pace. Then it's Fatinho ahead of Mason, TJ ahead of Wilkins, who's 2 seconds off the pace. Rageman rounds out the top 10. Then it's the 2 Welsh people of Ols and W4 in 11th and 12th. Fozzie Bear in 13th, who set a late effort to improve his time. Then it's Demon in 14th for Aston Martin. Salterbear in 15th, and Storm rounding out the 16 drivers competing in that. He was 3.7 seconds off the fastest lap time by Rydell.
Yep, so them lap times will obviously get recorded. They'll get sent to one of the management team, and we'll evaluate them. We've got the task data, which shows a bit more information on like the setting of the fuel loads and what legend modes are in. They'll get sent, and see on Sunday evening, I believe, the tiers will be announced. So well done everybody for showing up for this first session, and obviously if you're unhappy with your lap, just message the management team, and we'll look at factors. This is not the only way we decide the tiers. There are other factors beyond the time we look at. So yeah, I enjoyed that session. It was a good session, a few spins, but we saw some quick lap times at the end there, and a bit of a variety of lap times. So 25, some 26s and 27s, and don't know about you, mate, but that was a really good session. I enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed it as well. I've learned some things from a few drivers who I've already done commentary on before in other leagues, and there was a lot of new names I've come across, so very much looking forward to see how this season plans out. So in terms of the calendar, before the first race of the season on the 3rd of September, we've got the tier announcements and the team contracts that open on the 22nd, which is this Sunday, and then the team contracts get released 5 days after that, which will be the following Friday, as well as the teammate negotiations that open that same day. And of course, the pre-season race will be in Interlagos in Brazil on the 27th of August for all 5 tiers. And then the first race will be in Australia, in Melbourne, on the 3rd of September. Jamie, thank you very much for joining me in the commentary box. Yeah. I've enjoyed that, and we hope to do it again for the pre-season event, which will be in 7 days' time. Thank you to everyone for joining, and best of luck if you're involved in the One Hub Racing qualifying nights. I'm Tom Cairns, he's Jamie Metcalf, and we'll speak to you again soon when One Hub Racing returns.